Rap and Reason podcast with Dr. Jeremy C. McCool and Earl Hopkins. All right, we are back at it again, man. Episode 27 of Rap and Reason podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dr. Jeremy C. McCool.
And I'm Earl Hopkins, man. What's going down?
Man, it's trying to stay warm, bro. This
It's
day,
ridiculous.
bro. Look, for everybody out there in the Midwest, East Coast, man, stay warm. It's ugly out here, bro. Like when my phone told me that it felt like -1, and I was like, you are absolutely right. It was crazy early.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, but Chicago has it worse though, so I'm not gonna complain too much.
How bad is it? How bad is it in Chicago?
Oh no, it was -11 today.
Yeah, that's disgusting, bro. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, legitimately -11. Not it felt like -11. It was a -11.
Yo, people
Yeah,
forget how like north a Midwest city like a Chicago really is, bro.
yeah, 100%.
They
Like
forget.
Chicago cold is different, and that's why today threw me off because it felt like home. I was like, oh, this feels like the crib. I don't like this. I'm not built for it no more. I've been gone too long.
Nah. And we got the Delaware River, cool. Like, it's obviously cold, but Chicago though, Lake Michigan, right on Lake Michigan, bro. Like, again, at the top of the Midwest, like, I'm cool. Like, as beautiful a city as these two cities are, bro, I am cool on that. I'm gonna stay my little self inside, bundle up, bro.
Yeah,
At all costs. Yeah.
absolutely, bro. How you been?
I've been good, man. Like my Ohio State Buckeyes won the national championship, so I'm feeling good, bro. I woke up this morning feeling invigorated, bro. Like I'm good. It's good to see Ohio like remain on top. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say reach to the top or the
Here
height,
you
bro.
go.
To remain on top, bro. It's Ohio versus everybody every day, bro. So yeah, yeah,
Look, I already know. Yeah, man.
yeah.
It's been dope, bro. And then we back at school, man. So that's
Mhm.
we back in school this week. Classes starting back up. Teaching a digital storytelling course and a tech course. So yeah, man, it's good. It's good. And then working on this book, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a grind, bro, but it's been a good grind. Like we're nearing the point where we can start to get comfortable. Like not comfortable, but like start to really settle in for real. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
no,
So that's exciting.
100%. Like we're like for everybody now, we're at the halfway point. Like so, it's dope. We've done I don't know how many interviews at this point. We've done a lot of interviews.
Yeah.
Um, we've yeah, man. We're at a point where the book is fire already. Like where I'm
Honestly.
like I feel now like you know when you first start a book, you're like, man, I hope it's gonna be. But like now that
Mhm.
I'm like we're getting into the weeds, it's like, nah, this is hard. So yeah,
It's fire.
we're looking forward to y'all being able to pick up our book, man. For those who don't know, it's the working title is Conscious Rap Lives, How J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar Saved Hip Hop. Yeah, man, and we'll keep you all posted on the progress of that too.
Yeah, man. Like you said, bro. Like we're really chipping away at it, man. It's exciting, bro. Like, you know, this year is gonna be amazing, but by the time it drops next year, next fall, bro, that'll be a highlight for both of us, I'm sure. So, yo, I'm just excited for it, and we just gonna continue to grind and just, embrace the process. Yeah.
Absolutely. Embrace the grind, man, and let y'all know, man. Writing a book. I know, Earl, this is your first book. This is my longest book. And let me tell y'all,
Mhm.
man, it's work. It's work.
It is work. If anything is work. But again, we got a great year to look ahead. What we don't have is a great start, bro. I'm gonna talk about the inauguration that took place uh, for
Good
president-elect, now
transition over
president,
there.
for President Donald Trump for his second term. He's only the second president in U.S. history to have a like consecutive second term, if that makes sense. I think it
Yeah,
was Grover Cleveland being the first, but yeah, like during the inauguration, two hip hop artists actually performed. People, one of them, if not both, that you really like respect, Nelly and Snoop Dogg, bro. How did you feel? Because I don't know if you watched it, but how did you at least feel about them performing at the inauguration for such a polarizing political figure?
absolutely. So I'll start with this. As you know, and I've said this on the podcast before, I am probably very far on the side of being anti-celebrity worship. I'm
Mhm.
probably all the way on the other end of that is like we should not be idolizing entertainers. These are not the heroes. These are people who make
Mhm.
good music. Like I like That is it. That is all. Now, some of them rise beyond that and do other great work, but that is not what who you should look to for guidance or
Mm.
who should be your role model. Just because they make good music. So let me start there.
Yeah.
With that being said, I wasn't like super emotionally moved by it because
Mm.
um, I look at it on a bigger scale of rappers get booked to perform places for whatever reason, whether that's financially
Mm.
or in these cases, I'm gonna also add this. The co-founder of Death Row Records, who was one of Snoop Dogg's friends, was pardoned by Donald Trump a few years back. Um,
Mm.
Nelly had a drug case that disappeared a couple months ago.
Mm.
Um, I'm not tying the two.
Mm.
I'm not
Mm.
conflating these at all. I'm just putting this in the atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are just some other things that were going on in the same time period. Rather that was a reasoning for why they did it or not, I don't know. But um people make those decisions business wise for whatever reasons. Artists are businesses. I know we don't like to think of them that way, but Nelly is a business. Snoop Dogg is a business. For whatever reason, they felt like it was a good decision to make. Do I think it was a terrible look for them? Absolutely. Do I feel like it
Absolutely.
looked clownish? Absolutely.
Right.
Do I feel like it tarnished their brands or their legacies? Absolutely. Especially
Mm.
depending on how left things get. Um, so I will say that. So I'm not gonna be oblivious to the fact that like on a branding standpoint, I think that it made them look crazy. And I think that it
Yeah.
and I think, man, we have to get to a point, and it's funny, me and my mom were talking about this. It just either make the decision when you make the decision you make to do something like that, either do one or two things. Either shut up or be honest. That's how I feel.
Mm.
When
Mm.
I hear Nelly talking and giving this long explanation that don't really make sense, it's like, bro, just say, hey man, I needed a bag. Hey man, I owed a favor. Hey man, he did whatever. Or don't say nothing, just do it and move on with your career.
Yeah.
But when you start, and that's what Snoop did. I haven't seen Snoop Dogg say anything about it. It
He
seemed like
hadn't
he
touched
just
it
did
at
it,
all.
and this I did
Yeah.
it, and it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's a better method than like trying to tie other stuff. Well, the military, I got military in my family. That don't have nothing to do with you performing at inauguration, bro.
At
Like
all, bro.
nothing to do with performing at inauguration. So like I think make the decision you make, stand on it, and if you made that decision for whatever reason, whether like I said, whether it was financially, whether it was
Mm.
you needed a favor or some grace, I don't know. Um, make the decision you made. But like I said, I don't place these people on too big of a pedestal. What did you think?
Yo, and that's where I'm at with it. It's just like this shouldn't even be surprising anymore, bro, because we saw how it turned out like Trump's first term, where we're seeing people like his first presidential campaign, where you saw like, and these aren't the most like we don't look at these artists as like of a certain intellectual level, I'm gonna just say it. Like a Kodak was following his tracks, like supporting him. You had like little pumps of the world, like eventually Kanye West, like you know what I'm saying? Like and all these people kind of like showing favor or you know what I mean, like meeting with him, linking with him, being seen with him at even at his rallies and things like that. Like this shouldn't be a shocker, bro. And the reality is, you're right. Like a lot of celebrities, bro, very self-serving people. They only want to do what's right for them. They don't really necessarily always care about um who they influence, how it's influencing the masses and everything else. They just kind of, and to keep it simply, bro, like sometimes it's about a bag, or sometimes it's about a partner, or sometimes it's about a favor. And I'd rather someone just, like you said, bro, just not say nothing at all, or just be honest. Like be short, concise, and honest. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what these reasons are. You make some good points, bro. Like that sounds like it was some favors owed along with the bag. Like that's possibly what happened. We'll probably never know. But what I do know is like someone like a Snoop, someone like a Nelly didn't need this. I can tell you some
No.
like I'm not in their pockets obviously, but Snoop doesn't look like he's missing anything financially. Like this man was at the Olympics, he was doing this, he's seen everywhere as a show with Martha Stewart. Like he's good. Nelly is with his lady Ashanti, who was my you know what I mean, childhood crush, whatever. He's good. He's in good hands in some form or fashion, bro. So they don't need this at
That's
all. This looks silly, bro. Like they look goofy, bro. Like I'm gonna keep
it.
it honest because it's not about celebrity this, celebrity that. Ultimately, bro, like people within the Black American community, like respect y'all. Like they show favor towards y'all. So for you to make a move with someone who's perceived to not really service that community, it looks goofy, bro. Straight up.
So the only thing I push back on is when you say that entertainers or celebrities are self-serving. My pushback on that is I think humans are self-serving. I think we just don't see the moves that other people make. How many people are
Mm,
working for racist companies right now that they won't leave for money? I mean, how many people are still shopping at all these
mm,
companies that have done racist things and still spending their money with companies that you know don't support you? Walmart announced that they were getting rid of DEI initiatives. How many people are still shopping at Walmart? I mean,
mm,
so people aren't making sacrifices in their lives, but they expect celebrities to make sacrifices in theirs. I think it's because people view them as rich. So they feel like you should have a
mm,
higher standard of how you should behave. But I
mm,
just think we all need to make sure that we're moving accordingly as well, and
mm,
not having expectations for them when if we working with racist companies or maneuvering in those different waters for financial gain. So that's I think that's a human thing. I think they're just doing it at a bigger level that's magnified, so we judge them more harshly because they're public figures, which
mm,
is fair. I mean, they're public figures. That's your job. Your job is to be a public figure. But
mm.
I think most people are very self-serving,
Yeah, but
unfortunately.
there's moments where, again, this is my own expectation as someone again who's not rich, right? Like, with hopes to one day have a certain level of power, or
Mhm.
whether that's economic or influence or whatever, and actually use it for good, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would expect others to really have the same mindset. Unfortunately, like it's moments like these where you can see that that's clearly not a widespread mindset or thing, bro,
But
and
I
it's
can't. But
disappointing for me. It's
Yeah,
disappointing.
but the thing is, I can't say like I don't know as much about what Nelly's done, but Snoop Dogg
Hmm.
has been doing philanthropy for his almost his whole career. He has a whole
Hmm.
football league in if I'm not mistaken, Long Beach, for black kids that's been going on for
Hmm.
decades. So I don't know if I can say that he all of a sudden because he decided to DJ at inauguration that he's not for the black community because of that one decision, but. I do think it looks made him look goofy at the
I'm
same
not
time.
saying they have never done anything good. I'm just saying this decision was not good. That's all I'm saying. Like this decision was crazy to me.
It's a wild, it's a
You
wild,
get
it's wild.
you
It's
got to
wild.
think outside of yourself, bro. Like it's just you have too big a voice, too big an influence. Like when Kanye was having his spouts, he's been relatively laying low as of
Mhm.
recent. I think he has an album coming out either this year or maybe even next or whatever. But he's lying low. I'm sure a moment will pop up right before
Oh, he
album
gonna do
time. I'm
something.
sure he's gonna do something. It's just like the
He
stock
about
market,
due,
certain
actually. He about due.
trends.
You know, Kanye got a certain timeline.
A
He about
Kanye
due to do
bomb
something
will
crazy. It's been
a
too.
Kanye bomb will go off within some months, bro. I guarantee it. But like there's certain things you have too big a voice. I forget what's his name. Van Lathan said that to Kanye when Kanye was wilding at TMZ when Van Lathan was still there, and he was like, slavery was a choice. Bro, even if you felt that way, this is very different. I'm deviating a little bit, but you
Yeah.
have too big a voice to like make certain statements, do certain things. And I think like this is a case where they should have really considered what this means potentially with the things that President Trump could enact in the future. We're going to look back and be like, you look crazy. Also, it doesn't help that a video of Snoop Dogg surfaced where he said, literally, I think it was Trump's first presidency, and he was like, yo, better not be no hip hop artists or black musicians performing for this dude, or you look like crazy. He did the exact same thing 8 years
Mhm.
later, bro. You can't make this
That
up,
was, that
dog.
was that was before that pardon came through.
Man,
that was
telling you.
that was before that pardon came through. But
Hmm.
but yeah, no, I think it's a I think it was a terrible look, and especially with some of the things that were done and said
Yeah.
um, during the inauguration. I think that being attached to that, I think definitely looked crazy. And mind you, I'm
Mm.
somebody, to be fair, I'm just as critical at some of the theatrics on the Democratic side when they roll these rappers out and had them doing crazy
For
stuff.
sure.
So I'm an equal
For sure.
opportunist. I don't like it when none of them do it, to be honest with you.
Nah.
But
No.
I think that in this specific moment that we're in now, I think that Yeah, I think it could be very brand tarnishing for both of them. Like, is anybody gonna stop listening to country grammar or drop it like it's hot? No, but
No,
I think that it's definitely it's changed how people view them for sure.
it's
And I would
changed
say
how they
Nelly
view it.
more just because he kept doubling down and doing. He did an interview with Willie D and
Yeah,
regurgitated the same thing. Then he
he
did
did one
another.
with CBS. Yep.
Yeah, and he's kind of like trying to triple and double down on these points that don't make sense. Like, bro, just say I did it because I wanted the bag, or I did it because I needed to get out of jail free card, and that's what it is. You know what I
Man, interesting situation, bro. But hey, God bless them both. I wish them
mean?
nothing but the best, bro. That's what I'm on 2025, bro. I
God
don't even.
bless, bro. That's
I
my
mean,
slogan this year, bro. God bless. Hey,
I wish y'all the best, man. But yep. Anyway, other news, brother, man. What else we got, man?
man, we got man Joey Badass, man.
Let's talk about it.
the saga continues. So as you all know, we talked about this a little bit before, and that's that Joey Badass has been in a little light scuffle lyrically with some other rappers. He came out in the song, made a little West Coast dig. Some West Coast rappers decided to respond to it. One of which being Ray Vaughn from TDE, another one being Daylight, who's another renowned battle rapper and MC. So there's been a few people who've responded. Joey Badass decided to come out with another response. And the crazy thing is, the only direct shot here was not to any of the people who dissed him,
None of them.
which
It
was
was cold.
interesting. The one shot that was semi-direct was where he has a line. Uh, I don't want to mess it up. What's the line?
Yo, I don't even know it, but in reference to J. Cole's last album,
Yeah, it
Might Delete
basically
Later.
says like y'all apologize and might delete later, but I guarantee I won't. Might delete later for anybody who does not know was J. Cole's last album where he ended up actually deleting the diss record that he made to Kendrick Lamar.
Mhm.
Um, so in reference to that, basically saying like I ain't reneging or going back on anything that I said. Like I'm
Mhm.
standing on anything that I said about any of y'all. What did you think about that?
I thought the song was dope. The song was dope, especially the midway like transition. So I like this song. I think the shot at Cole is just kind of confusing a little bit. Like I think the reason why he took a shot at Cole is because like conversations about Cole being because they don't have no direct actual like relationship as far as we know or like any
Yeah.
collaborations together as far as what I remember. So like the only reason I think is because there's been rumblings that like people have been talking about Cole. Is he considered a New York rapper? Is he considered like a Southern rapper? Like
Mm.
whatever. That's the only reason why that makes sense. Because people like certain, creators or whatever is like, is Cole the king of New York technically? Like it can't be Joey. It has to be someone like Cole, even though Cole isn't from New York. He's just lived there for an extended period of time and went to college there. But to me, it doesn't really make any sense. It's more confusing, if anything, bro. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I would have to. I would agree. I think that I thought it
Mm,
was fire. I thought the production was amazing.
fire.
I thought the
Mm,
rapping was crazy. I would have liked him. And this goes back to the battle rapper fan in me. I put a name on those bullets, man. Say people name. They saying your name.
mm. Yeah, right.
Ray Vine didn't do no subliminal nothing. Like,
Nothing, bro.
so I need you to, if you come out. But as far as just a song, fire. Like,
Hmm.
like amazing rapping, amazing production. Maybe this is a warm up. I would imagine that he's being strategic, and there's another one that's gonna drop that's a little more direct. But as far as the shot at J. Cole, man, I'm gonna be honest. Uh, J. Cole gonna have to make an example out of one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like
Yeah.
J. Cole, once it gets to the point where you're becoming a bar of people coming out and apologizing, when you're becoming the
Yeah.
punchline of that,
Yeah.
J. Cole, come out and make an example out of one of these dudes, man. Like
You got to.
I hate for it to be Joey Badass, but hey, if it gotta be him, it gotta be him,
It gotta be him. And I feel like he's easier to
because y'all
poke at
playing.
for real, for real. Yeah, like it's
Very
easier to
easy.
make fun of him because like bro, an actor at this point in a lot of people's eyes. So it's just like, where you coming with this smoke, bro? Like, shouldn't you be on set? Like, you got an early call tomorrow? Like, you crazy. So
Nah,
I think Cole gotta make an example. Spank one of these dudes,
spank
like
one of them,
for
bro.
sure.
I think he because now they playing with your name. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I
They
know
try to make
what
you a footnote, bro, and rap.
you,
We not doing that.
bro.
Not
We
to
not finna
Cole,
play with
bro.
J. Cole like that. Like, and I think
Crazy.
he hasn't we haven't seen J. Cole in battle. So
Hmm.
I think, yeah, bro, like you didn't want to come at Kendrick because that was your man's. This ain't your man's. So I need
Yeah.
you to go ahead and make an example out of one of them, man, and show him what it is. And I'm gonna be honest, like Joey Badass can really rap, but I don't not think he's rapping on the same level as J. Cole at all.
Nah, I don't think he can like. And again, I love Joey. I've said that 100 times on this pod, but like, I don't think he can rhyme as well, but also make it as palatable as like a Cole can. Like, I don't
Mm-mm.
think he can really like touch the masses like a Cole can musically, even on a diss record. Like, we
Absolutely.
felt a way about him retracting the diss record, but the diss record for what it was, like, it sounded good. I can say that. So
Absolutely.
like, Cole has proven at least in that small like sample size that he could really like do damage. So I don't think really Joey wants that smoke personally. Nah.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So you should
Yeah.
look, go at the people who actually talking to you. Just
Right.
say their
Especially on Ray
names.
Bond. Yeah, for
Oh yeah,
sure.
Ray Vaughn too. And Ray Vaughn, like he not even like he not even anywhere near on Joey Badass's level of success as a rapper. So I feel like this should be your time though. You got to little bro him. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think Joey's mindset is like, if I'm gonna go at anybody, it has to
It
be
gotta be
like a
Kendrick.
top dog. Yeah. Like it has to be a top dog. It has to be a Kendrick or a Cole or you know what I mean? I don't think he'll go at Drake because, like what's the fun in that, right? Like you wanna you know what I'm saying? Like you wanna go at it with someone who's like relatively seems still impenetrable. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So but I just don't see him. It could surprise me, but I don't see Joey really putting up as good a fight like when it comes to either of those two personally. I think he can definitely do his thing, but who knows nowadays, bro? Like,
yeah.
I just want to see it. I low key want to see it
I
with him and
like battle
Cole.
rap, man.
Yeah,
I want to see it, bro. As long as y'all ain't nothing getting violent. Like I said, the people who we talking about, I don't think it's gonna go there. So
right.
I just want to see y'all rap, man. And I think that
That's
this
it.
and I think it's good for putting them back in the forefront of conversation. You know what I mean? And I think for a Ray
Mhm.
Vaughn or for a Joey Badass, like right now, they both neither one of them are like in the mainstream spotlight in hip hop right now. So I think it's good
Mhm.
for both of them. Yeah, go do it again. Go back and forth, man. We want to see it. And J. Cole, man, if y'all gonna catch J. Cole on one of them days where he had a bad bike ride, he
Fact.
ain't in the best space, and
Right.
he gonna do one of y'all dirty. I'm
The
just waiting.
avocado toast wasn't hitting as usual, bro. He gonna come at y'all, bro. For
Bro, he
real.
ain't burnt. Bro, the sage ain't burned right today. And
Uh-huh.
he gonna take off one of y'all heads, man. I want to see it because it's y'all. I don't like people playing with J. Cole name out here like he ain't J. Cole. That's I
But
don't
they
like.
gotta stop.
Y'all
They gotta
got it.
stop.
Certain rappers you got to chill on. Like, so making it make an example, bro.
But I want to see it. Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry, man. I think, and I don't think the problem with him doing this, and like I said, sorry, not sorry is dope, but because it's not as direct, bro. I don't think that's enough. I think you just put some more fume on the fire. I think they're gonna keep coming at you now.
Yeah, yeah, I can see
I
it.
think it's gonna be some more West Coast rappers out of the blue just coming at him just because now.
Just cause now, yeah.
Because
I
they're
don't
like,
think Cole's going to respond to this personally. I don't feel like it really lit the match as much as like it would to warrant a Cole response personally, especially with
mm,
what he's been on like the last year. I just don't really see it. But I will say though, with his new album, Cole's new album dropping, it would definitely be some nice promo.
yeah,
It makes sense business wise. So we'll
it,
see.
it does, bro.
Mhm.
Right before the fall off, like make somebody else fall off.
Facts, facts,
Yes,
facts, man.
sir. But yeah,
Another
nah,
one
man.
of our
Shout out to
favorite.
Joey Badass though. I do like this track though. Like this is a song I would play regularly. Like I just like the song.
Yeah. Another one of our favorite artists, man, Chance the Rapper, bro, just dropped a new song, bro. Quiet Storm, man. What's your thoughts, bro, upon first listen?
Yo, man, another person who is rapping at like I'm not gonna lie, the last few songs of Chance the Rapper that I've heard, including this one, bro, he's rapping at the best level I've heard Chance the Rapper,
Easily.
and that's saying a lot
Easily.
because Chance has always been a good rapper, but I think like
Mm-hmm.
lyrically, he's been I don't know what's in the water or what like
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's because of what he's been going through lately or whatever, but he's rapping at an elite level. And this was an example of that, man. It's just a couple minutes of him just barring up. And I thought it was dope, man. I liked it. I think that it made me more crave his new album more. Like you need to go
Yeah.
ahead and drop with a star line.
Starline, bro.
We
Drop
need,
that.
yeah, we need that star line, man. I liked it. I thought that his rapping was he was rapping at a high level. Like I said, it's not it's a short. I wouldn't really call it a full song. You know, it's one of
Yeah.
those 2 minute. You know, just I'm rapping. Um,
Mhm.
but fire. What you think?
Fire, bro. Like it's a nice appetizer, but I feel like we're ready for the main course, bro. At this point, we want to see Starline. Like this is dope. Don't get me wrong. Like I agree with you. He's rapping on levels consistently that I haven't seen him quite
Oh,
reach, bro. It's like he's actually gotten better, which shouldn't be a surprise. But you know, he's been so inactive, kind of distant for so long as far as like full projects are concerned.
hmm
So like it's amazing seeing him in this form, especially with everything he's going through with like family. While you know, it's a lot. So I can imagine he's like has priorities or his mind elsewhere, but he's rapping his butt off, bro. Like this is crazy. I think Starline, if it's anything like what we've seen, which I imagine it will be, bro, it could be like one of his best projects probably since Coloring Book, personally. Because you know, we talked about this extensively. Like I wasn't in love with the Big Day or whatever it's
Yeah,
called, his last album, but like I think it'll respark a certain interest that we haven't seen like with Chance in a long time. But I will say, bro, I am surprised. Like a lot of people haven't really caught on to his recent releases as much as I would think, bro. Like
I
we
agree.
talking no real radio play. We're talking no added conversations from like no media figures or personalities.
Yeah,
Like it's kind of wild to me. Like why do you think that is?
I've noticed the same thing, bro. I think that when you take a big gap like Chance has taken,
Mm,
I think he kind of missed this whole little TikTok wave. Um,
yeah.
so I don't think he's utilizing those platforms like that. And I think that he's making more serious music right now, and right now isn't a time where there's a lot of serious music out, to be honest.
Mm,
You know, right now everything is lighthearted and club and whatever, either that or it's like completely drill hood, you know what I mean,
mm,
ganged out music. So it's really
yeah.
not a lot in between. There's not a large conscious space right now. So I
Mm,
think that the type of music that he's making right now isn't like aligned with the acid rap type of music that he was making, or even really the coloring book type of music that he was making. I think the music that he's been putting out lately is a lot more serious
yeah.
as far as the messaging goes. So I think it just hasn't resonated. Now, as far as why the media personalities and the radio shows and all of them aren't bringing him up, I'm gonna be honest. I think it's because he's independent and people aren't, and he's not with a label who's
Mm.
paying them to do so.
Yeah. Like I think like if I were Chance, like I would look to, and we're gonna talk about it later, but I think he would fit well on a Kai Cenat stream. Like, bro, just get on stream. Like just have fun. We need to see
Yeah,
Chance having fun. I think like even if with the music, obviously it gotta kind of correlate a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like musically too. Like I think he could have more colorful, vibrant music as opposed to what he's making now. Sure. But I enjoy the new releases, as have you, like that he's dropped recently. But I think he needs to be seen in a different light, bro. Like
I
he
would
needs
agree.
to kind of. I don't know if my man's still kicking it in Chicago and hasn't left, or he's between Chicago and Ghana so much that he's just like unavailable. I don't know what it is, but I think he needs to hop on the stream. We need to see Chance outside, bro. Like we need to see that. I
Yeah,
think that's
I
what's
would
missing.
I would agree. I think it would be. I think him doing more public facing stuff would be cool. I think him
Yeah.
doing I think him, like you said, going on the Kai Cenat stream or
Mhm.
hopping on the podcast that he really actually rocks with or whatever. I think him being more visible, I think would definitely help
For
get
sure.
people more excited about his music. Um,
Hmm.
because he's rapping. Like I
He's
can't say
rapping
and as far as the
crazy.
music goes, everything has been fire that I've heard. I haven't heard a bad verse from him in the last couple of years.
Nah.
So uh,
Mm-mm.
yeah, so as far as the music goes, I think that's there. I just think, like I said, because he's independent and doesn't have a label who's pushing him to do these streams
Hmm.
and he's doing it independently. I think that might be playing a role in why he's not doing as much. So I think, but Chance Rapper's still a big name. So
Yeah.
I don't think he'd have a problem if he was reaching out to get on some of these publications.
For sure. I'm gonna tell
And
you, I'm gonna give him
companies.
kudos in the fact that he hasn't done this. He hasn't said out loud, publicly at least, yo, why ain't y'all messing with me? Like, why is
Mm-mm.
people keep ignoring me? That would, I think, worsen the situation. If he feels like it's a situation at all. He may be saying to himself, oh, this is exactly what I want. Like, I just want to make good music and kind of chill in my cocoon. But as far as the chance we know, like I don't feel like that's necessarily the type of reception he would want and or deserve. Like he needs to be front facing and he needs to be out there a lot more, bro. Because I want to see this album. This is the longest rollout I've ever seen, bro. Like this is crazy. It's like 2 hours or 2 years of roll. Like I
yeah.
mean, continue singles and Lucy's, but I want to see the full body, like the full, project. So we gotta see it, man. Yeah.
I think Dr. Dre still has the record for the longest rollout.
Oh yeah, deep to and it never came out. So
No,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's still going.
yeah, yeah. That man had a decade plus.
But
Like yeah,
after that, it might be this one because yeah, this has been a while. Go ahead, drop it, man. But
drop
we
it. It's
both
been
looking
6
forward
years,
to
bro.
yeah,
Good.
man. We both looking forward to it, man. Both huge supporters of Chance the Rapper, man, and all the work that he's done, both in the booth and outside of it. So yeah, man. We looking forward to hearing that. Hopefully we get it this year.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah. We got another album that we got to review, man. We got a throwback review.
Yeah.
And
Let's talk about it.
this is a big one, man. And it's actually the 20th anniversary of the Games album, The Documentary. So that album
Mhm.
came out in 2005 in January, and 20 years later, man, and it's crazy to think that this is 20 years old because I remember when this album dropped. And so yeah, it's like, man, time is flying. But
Fine.
bro, like when this album dropped, well, first of all, did you listen to it when it came out, or did you listen to it like later on?
Heck, nah, my parents weren't letting me listen listen to this at 8. Nah. So I listened I listened to it. Yeah, I was 8 years old when it dropped, but like, there's certain like Dreams classic, like I heard that on the radio. Hate It or Love It, like I heard that. Like so when my first introduction to game is obviously alongside 50 Cent, who was on fire at this point, on
Hmm.
fire, like human. And so when he came out with Dreams and Hate It or Love It, I'm like, hold on. So this is another dope G Unit artist. Like that's how we kind of saw it. I wasn't old enough to really contextualize the fact like he was really repping for the West when there was a lull, like there was a gap.
A
You know what I
huge
mean? It was
gap.
kind of desolate, yeah, for a minute, bro. So
He held it down
yeah.
for a dang near a decade before we got Kendrick. Like,
Honestly,
yeah.
yeah, like before Kendrick really ascended, like in the way that we see him today. But um now that I gotten older, or once I got older and I really sat down and listened to this, bro, like this is a classic, certified classic, bro. Like I'm willing to debate anybody. This is one of the better West Coast album debuts, maybe West Coast albums period in the last 20 some years, bro. Like there's just so many. First of all, the production is fire. It's flawless. Like when you have Dre in your support in your back pocket, bro, he just has an ear unlike anybody else, maybe except for like a DJ Quick or like whoever is just has that ear, bro, is hearing
Hmm.
certain octaves that we ourselves
Absolutely.
can't hear, bro. Like it's crazy. So is glossy, not glossy, but it's just like phenomenal production, bro. He's a great storyteller. The game, we have to give him more credit. I don't feel like he gets enough credit as a lyricist and as a storyteller. Like he's incredible, bro. So for me, like I said, the documentary, it's not my favorite. Ironically, it's not my favorite game album. I would actually
Mm.
put Doctor's Advocate slightly above this one. But like this one is like, I mean, honestly, you can't get much better when it comes to just a hungry West Coast artist like this one, bro. This is certified, certified for sure.
Absolutely, bro. Look, I could not agree with you more, man. Like,
Mhm.
and I was old enough to listen to this when it came. Well, let me be clear. I wasn't old enough to listen to it, but I snuck and did it anyway. I probably was 11 when it came out then. And I was all in, bro. Like, I remember hearing
Mhm.
it and being like, man, this was like amazing. And I think this was really one of the first like modern West Coast albums that I really tapped into. I mean, of course, I'd
Mm.
heard the Dr. Dre and Snoop stuff, but like
Yeah.
this was my introduction to more of a modern West Coast sound growing up, and I
Mhm.
think that it was a man, it was a masterpiece of that, and I think that the game's rapping, and I agree with you. The game doesn't get the credit he deserves as being an amazing storyteller and lyricist. Like this is one
Mhm.
of those projects that really displays that well, and the production amazing, top tier. And not
Mhm.
only Dr. Dre, when it's laced with Dr. Dre production, it's laced with Scott Storch production, it's laced with when you got Dream that's produced by Kanye, you got High
Mhm.
Tech that's with some production on there. He's from Ohio.
Crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, like amazing producers who worked on this project, and that's why I say on the production level, this is one of probably I can easily say this is one of the best produced hip hop album period, but definitely out of the West Coast. I think
Yeah.
like outside of Dr. Dre's and maybe Doggy Style, this is it. Like
Yeah.
as far as just
Yeah.
pure production, like
Mm-hmm.
there isn't really any bad production on here that I'm like, oh, I don't like this beat. Like there's not much of that here for me to
Mm-hmm.
point out. The songs that really stood out to me the most, Dreams has always been a song that I just have loved. I
Amazing.
just think it's just an amazing track. Hate It or Love It. I played that song till like I mean that's one of my most played hip hop songs. Probably if somebody took a toll of my life and how like which songs I played how many times, that's high up there because I feel like
Yeah.
there's not a year that goes by where I don't listen to that song at least a couple times. Um, How We Do, another one
Yep.
classic.
Come
Start
on.
From Scratch is the song that I've always really rocked
Mm-hmm.
with. That's also produced by Dr. Dre. The storytelling is just amazing on there as well. Um, one of believe it or not, man, this album has one of my favorite outros in hip hop
Oh
history.
wow.
I've always
Yeah.
said that. Like Father, Like Son, man, I just really love how he concluded this album. I think that it
Mm-hmm.
was him telling the story of his son being born and like really walking you through the steps of them in the hospital and the son being born and the emotions that he was feeling. I just think it was just an amazing way to conclude an album. Yeah, bro. And I think that unfortunately, I think that the game's like I hate to say antics have kind of
Yeah.
taken away from people focusing more on his music. You know, he's had a lot of beefs with people. Even on his album, as I was listening back to it, I'm like, dang, he threw shots at everybody. I almost have forgot how many people the game didn't like and
Yeah.
how vocal he was about the people he didn't like. Everybody caught shots on here, like from Jay-Z to everybody. So I think that the beefs he had, you know, public fights and all of it, there's always
Mm-hmm.
been a lot of other stuff attached to the game outside of how amazing he is as a rapper. So I think that
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately that is kind of like not deterred, but like I think it's impacted how people view
For
him as an
sure.
artist. But
Mm.
amazing. One thing you can't take away from him is he has a couple classic albums that are just amazing. And this is one of them. This is actually my favorite one. And I love the Doctor's Advocate.
Yeah, man.
I would even say that I think the Doctor's Advocate production might be better, but I think I really
Mm.
love his storytelling and rapping on this one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think this one is just layered. I think that he gave you everything, you know what I mean, as far as
Mm-hmm.
like different tempos of songs, like some that are storytelling, some that are more just street bangers. Like he gave a little bit of everything, and I felt like I left this album kind of understanding the game and when who
Yeah.
he was and what he stood on as an artist. So yeah, man, not too much negative I could really say about this album, for real, for
Yeah.
real.
And I would say like one of the better modern sequels, like documentary
Hmm.
2, but documentary 2.5 specifically for me is like one of the better modern, like mainstream sequels to like a classic album. I can't quite put it classic quite yet, even though it's been 10 years since documentary 2.5 released. I don't know if I'm willing to go classic, but it's
Yeah,
really, really good. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, the game gotta show him, gotta give him his flowers, bro. He's an amazing rapper for
I liked
sure.
his album. What was it? Was it LAX?
LAX,
I
yeah.
love that album too.
Hmm.
Like
Like,
yeah.
the game is like one of those artists that I always hear, like whether I'm reading an article or I'm listening to a podcast, who his is just widely known for not really having a bad album or like really like a straight mediocre album.
Yeah.
I think I would agree for the most part. I think I would agree with that,
Yeah,
actually.
I can't lie and say that there's a couple of his albums I haven't listened to, so
Hmm.
I can't fully say that. But all of
Yeah.
the I've never heard a bad one. All of the ones that I've listened to from top to bottom, I've liked.
Yeah, like
There's
even
not any where I
Drillmatic.
was like these are terrible. Like no.
Yeah, like even Drillmatic, like which isn't like one of my favorite ones of his lately, but it's still not bad. Like it's still solid. Like it always has not good, great qualities about them. You know what I mean? So, but again, like I just think it's certain antics, bro. Like certain, you know, certain games he's willing to play that he don't have to play for real. Like
That's what
basically.
I'm yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the unfortunate part, like, is that when you're a rapper who's this gifted at rapping, I think that if he had went more of a, I'm trying to think of a rapper who I could compare him to that isn't. I would put Game on the level. If it wasn't for the antics and all of
Mm.
that, I think that people would discuss him in the same vein that they discuss like a Ti.
Okay. Okay. I'm not mad at that.
And
I'm
I
not
think
mad at
that's
that.
around the level where people would place, which is high. I place Ti
That's
pretty
high.
high in mine. I rock with Ti. I think Ti has some classic albums, so I put Ti pretty high on that list. Even though now I know a lot of people look at him for the other stuff, as far as like TV show and all that stuff, but I still think of Ti's catalog as being elite. But I think people don't often refer to him in that just because of the other stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah. Dang, that's actually a pretty good comparison. I didn't know what way you were going with it. I was hoping you didn't say Ice Cube though, like, because
Oh no.
I don't think they're really comparable in
Nah,
that
Ice
way.
Cube. And nah, I wouldn't compare him to Ice Cube
Mm,
just because of the subject matter. I
yeah,
wouldn't compare him. Ice Cube has way more pro black conscious revolutionary type music.
yeah, he
So
does.
I wouldn't put like if you listen to some of like America's Most Wanted or like Ice Cube has some albums that are really like
That certificate,
Death
absolutely.
Certificate being one, like
Yeah.
yeah, Death Certificate especially. That's one of my favorite like conscious albums, and so I think I look
Mhm.
at it. I wouldn't put him in the same vein as a Ice Cube.
Nah, nah, but one of the greats, like one of the great modern West Coast artists for
Oh,
sure.
for sure.
Hands
And
down.
when I say held it down, he really was like the only one. And there
Solo.
was a stint. It had to be because K Dot's first album dropped in when
His first
the kid is
like
in
mainstream album was Good
mainstream.
Kid, Mad 2011, 2012, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's about right. So
Yeah.
so when we're looking at from 2004 or 5 when Game
Hmm.
drops, like up until Good Kid,
To
Mad City,
2012. Yeah.
he held it down.
Yeah. That's like a shoot. That's a span of a whole other rapper's career, bro.
Absolutely.
Basically. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Most of
Yeah.
rappers'
Like a
career ain't
successful one.
7 years long. No, most rappers ain't lasting that long. So for
Yeah.
him to have
True.
been able to be significant and really hold down a coast like that for that's extent, I definitely think we got to give Game credit for that because he did. And I honestly am so I think hip hop was hurt by the fact that him and 50 Cent ended up falling out because man, they made some amazing music together.
Yes, bro. I was actually going to ask you. I know we got to move on to another review, but knowing what you know now, like, or that's been, speculated is that 50 Cent had a strong hand in the writing on the documentary. What's your thoughts? Does it affect how you think about the album?
Who said that? 50 Cent?
Yeah, I think
What
so.
then I can't sustain that as a source. 50 Cent said a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
think so.
50
Yeah,
Cent talk crazy about all the artists who ain't signed to him no more. So I can't really substantiate that. And I'm gonna be honest, bro. I think the Game rap better than 50 Cent. So that's why I don't believe it.
that's true. I actually agree with that. Yeah,
You
he
can't tell
does.
me you writing for somebody who rap better than you. That don't work in my mind.
You can definitely write, but like,
No way.
yes, you can, bro.
Bro,
Like,
I can't write. You can't write. I can't say somebody can't say like if that's like if LL Cool J. I hate no, I'm not gonna do LL. I'm gonna do like well if Young Thug tell you he write for Kendrick Lamar, you're gonna be like, what are we talking about? No, you didn't.
but the dude who wrote for Drake, bro, Drake raps better than the dude who wrote for him. I'm forgetting his name. Wow, like I'm forgetting his name, but he raps better than bro. And bro was on reference track doing the melodies, doing like a bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's
One
crazy.
person didn't write for Drake. A lot of people wrote for Drake. So I
Yeah,
think
that's
that's
true.
that's the
That's
thing.
true.
He wrote a couple songs for Drake, and then so did
Yeah,
this artist and this artist, and there's a collection of artists who made Drake. That's different.
yeah.
I can't. I'm not buying 50 Cent wrote for Drake. I'm
I
sorry.
think he had influence.
Oh
Like I
yeah, I'm not saying that
definitely,
he
yeah,
didn't help him with a
for
hook
sure.
or like, hey, how
Yeah,
can you this, but I don't think he
mm,
sat down and wrote Games verses. I'm just not gonna be able to buy that.
yeah, yeah.
And
You know,
they don't rap the same. Like they
they
don't
don't
even
rap
have.
the same at
Yeah.
all. But that could be a credit to a great songwriter, like a Sci High the Prince is a great ghostwriter. he can make you sound like yourself while being an elevated version of yourself without sounding like Sci-Hi. You know what I'm saying?
But Sahai got bars, and
Yeah,
not
he's
I've
like
nobody has ever heard.
crazy.
I've never, and mind you, I don't want to say this in a bad way because I really like 50 Cent's music. 50 Cent is a
Mhm.
legend,
For sure.
and I've never heard 50 Cent be like, "Ooh, 50 got bars." Like I've never listened to 50 Cent song and thought that. I think
Mm.
he's wrote some good songs, but like
Yeah.
I've never looked at him like some lyricist, like how I look at the game. So like
Mm.
I don't even know if he has the ability to do that for real.
That's true. Like he can definitely rap, but we're not saying like, okay, you're one of the better lyricists of your
No,
generation or among your peers. Like I've never thought that,
no.
but I always thought like that's a dope song. Like Many Men is a classic song.
Amazing song.
You know what I
Amazing.
mean?
He's made some amazing songs, but
Hmm.
as far as just rapping though,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
I
the
think his
game can
true
rap
talent.
like
Yeah.
when I what was that 100 bars, like 50 Cent can't do 100 bars. Like, I don't know. Have
Crazy.
you ever heard that?
Yeah. Yeah. Nah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
no, I can't. Ain't nobody else write that. I can't believe it. Yeah.
Nah. I think 50's true talent is business. I think he's like a troll, master troll, and knows how to like transfer that to business. Like, bro is top tier in that
And
arena.
in his book, which I will recommend, is 50th Law of Power, the one that he did with Robert Greene.
Hmm.
It's kind of like a spinoff of 48 Laws of Power. It's more so based on like fear and 50 Cent's life and his
Hmm.
story, and how some of those and some has some different laws and how it apply to his life and his principles or whatever. But he kind of touches on that a little bit. Like
Yeah,
the business side is really where he used music as an outlet, but he definitely was more gifted in that side.
for sure, for sure. And if I see another Tony Yayo interview where this man mentions him 50 times, I'm gonna just turn it off, bro.
I had never
Like
watched the Tony Ayo interview. I didn't
it's
get it.
really interesting. Like he's a great personality, bro. Like he's yeah, I wouldn't I don't think I would ever say that, bro, but he's a great personality just to be on camera, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even
I
on the
can't.
Vlad interviews.
I can't
Yeah.
watch. See, I'm one of them people who I stand on my boycotts. When I say I ain't watching nothing or shopping nowhere, listening to nothing, I stand on it. And Vlad, I just can't. I, I'm.
Yeah.
I drew my line with
Depending on
Vlad.
the guest, I can get through it.
I can't,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, Vlad is. No way. I'm out. Yeah, I can't do it, bro.
Yeah.
Certain folk I just ain't gonna be able to support. So he's on that list for me.
He's on many people's lists. I understand
Yeah.
why. All right, man. Last one, dog. So this is an artist I was really a fan of growing up, bro. Like he really shaped the way I listened or expanded the way I consume music because his music is so much different from like the traditional rappers that I was listening to at this point, especially in the mid 2010s, man. A posthumous release from Mac Miller, bro, who passed in
Mhm.
2018. It's called Balloonerism. Yo, I know you took a stab at this album, man. How did you feel about this posthumous release? Yo.
So man, when listening to it, one thing I have to give Mac Miller credit for, and he's done this a lot in his career, is I like the fact that he uses live instrumentation in his
Yeah.
songs, and then you can hear it, and it sounds a
Mm,
lot doper, and it fits his style. Like when you hear real drums and real guitars,
hmm
in some of his music. So I 100% got to give him credit for that. And I've always one thing about Mac Miller's music with me, his messaging has never really resonated with me much, but
mm,
I've always liked his sound. I've always liked
yeah.
his laid back, chill rap approach. It was very unique and different in that way. And I also like I've always thought that he could rap. Like he good storyteller, like some clever, witty lines. Like I've always thought Mac Miller was dope on that front. For this, I thought it kind of fit that mold. It was a real chill, vibey type of project. There's some songs on here that I would skip, of
Mm,
course. It's not necessarily, like I said, Mac Miller is not the type of artist who I would listen to regularly, but I think this is a
yeah.
chill, like this is laid back, chill, hookah type of music. Like it's very
Hmm.
chill, very melodic. And some dope songs on here, man. There's a couple that I really like. Friendly Hallucinations, I really, really liked. I thought it was dope.
Yeah.
$5 Pony Rides was one that stood out to me. Funny
Fire.
Papers was one that stood out to me. So there's a few on here that I really like. There's other ones. There's a couple on here that don't even have any words. There's a lot. There's like three or four that are just music, which I think is
Yeah.
cool. And
Mm.
like I say, it keeps a very chill melodic vibe. It's dope music to relax and lay back and chill to. So for that, I give it credit. Yeah, and I think for as for a posthumous release, I think it's good. I
Yeah.
usually don't like posthumous releases because I think that there's usually a bunch of random hands in the pot, and they end up changing the
Yeah.
sound of what the artist usually would sound like. I think this sounds like Mac Miller, so I think it was a mission
Hmm.
accomplished for sure. What
Hmm.
you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, and so I did some digging. This was a lot of these recordings were based like around 2014 when he released his mixtape, one of my favorite projects by Mac Miller, which is called Faces. And it kind of sounds like it. It has that airy, effervescent kind of flow to it throughout the entire posthumous album. Like, yeah, it calms you. Like, you know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like, and his music did that for me a lot of times. It's really ethereal. Sometimes he's saying nothing for real.
thanks.
But like even then, like it's still enjoyable nothing. If that makes sense. Like it is. One of my favorite songs on here, like you said, is $5 Pony Rides, bro. I think that song is like a great song that I can see if Mac Miller had his full command on, like full control, creative powers over, he would release that as
Yeah,
is. You know what I mean? There's certain songs where I'm not gonna say they sound incomplete, like they sound coherent and fully like thawed out, but still, I feel like Mac Miller, like the point he was in his career, he would have like added some extra touches to it, obviously. But yeah, no, I think this is cool. I actually like this pretty much straight through. There's songs like Funny Papers, Shangri-La that I like probably would do without, but I also like Mannequins, Mrs. Deborah Downer, Friendly Hallucinations, and all that other stuff. But on a larger scale, bro, I think Mac Miller, when people really look at it, like he was I don't know if he was a change maker. It's hard for me to say he was a change maker because I don't feel like I heard a Mac Miller-esque artist like him since his passing 6 years
mm,
ago. Personally, I haven't heard one that really is latched on to this style. But that's also what made him different. That's what made him
yeah,
Mac Miller, though. So it's like, you know what I mean? So I would say he was one of the more important rappers in my life as a younger hip hop fan. I can say that for sure.
yeah. Nice. And I would say that I was over here trying to think of. You messed me up when you said ethereal. You be having these vocabulary words, man. And that
Bruh,
boy put some. I had to Google it. I said, let me look up what this was.
diving into this book got
I said
me
that
saying
boy good, man.
randoms. Yeah, I'm weak, bruh.
Nah, but Mac Miller is yeah. I'm trying to think of another artist. I can't think of another artist who sounds like Mac Miller because he has this style where it's kind of like he's just talking. The only other artist I
Yeah.
could think of who doesn't sound anything like him, but has a style that's like very just relaxed and talking is Larry June.
Mm,
That's the only other artist who I can say, but he still don't sound like Mac Miller. So
yeah.
so yeah, I don't know if anybody else has necessarily gravitated to that style, but I
Mhm.
definitely would say that yeah, it's different. He's almost like the Janae Aiko
If you
of hip
think about
hop,
it, low
bro.
key,
Like this
low
sound
key.
like this super relaxing, chill. You lay back and
Mm,
relax. Like it's that type of music. And I think that
yeah.
I like the stuff that he's done with Anderson Paak in the past, man. I think they've done some dope collaborations together too. And yeah, man, just a good talent. Like one of the artists who definitely gone too soon. Legend out of Pittsburgh. And I always have another level of respect for artists who make it out of cities that there aren't any other rappers in. Other than
Yeah.
Wiz Khalifa and Mac Miller, are the only rappers really that we know of from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and Chevy Woods, who I think is from
He from
Pittsburgh, but
Pittsburgh?
he's not.
Oh, I didn't even know he
Yeah,
was
I
from
think
Pittsburgh.
so. I could be wrong, but I feel like he's also from Pittsburgh. But yeah, it's not a hip hop city. Like it's
No,
traditionally not a hip hop city. Mad respect for people that do that. The same with like Tech Nine coming out of Kansas
X.
City. Like I'm not a huge Tech Nine fan at all, but like the fact that he built like a conglomerate with strange music there,
Absolutely.
props. Same for Wiz and Mac for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And grew their fan bases organically. And I think that that's
Yeah.
a dope thing about a lot of those artists who came out of that blog era is that they really put in the work and grew their fan bases organically online and through shows, doing festivals, and that whole little era of music that came out in that I would say that 2008 to 2012, 13, that little era of artists, the Wiz Khalifa's, the Mac Millers. They really put in a lot of work and built large fan bases, man, just being unique and different during
Hmm.
that time period. And so I gotta shout them out, man. And I think that yeah, gone too soon, man. And I think Mac Miller is an example of him. You know, we've lost a lot of rappers due to drug use, man. And I think that
Hmm.
uh I would like for hip hop, and I think and I'm slowly starting to see it shift actually, shift away from the glorification of drug use and the junkie imagery of
Hmm.
making that look cool, you know. So
Yeah,
I like that hip hop is kind of starting slowly to to
slowly,
get
very
away.
slowly.
Very slowly because still some
Yeah,
artists who still talking about popping
absolutely.
pills and all of that, but yeah, man,
Yeah.
another artist going too soon for sure.
Absolutely, man. But yeah, man. Hopefully we see more of that in the future. Like less druggy rap, bro. That joint should have never been a movement within rap, bro. Like the
Never.
junkie culture, like that's wow. Now it's crash out culture. We need to get rid of that as well because that's like some goofy stuff. Man, I just want to see better for hip hop, but with the new year, man, comes new possibilities, bro. So that's what I'm looking forward to, man. Yeah, man.
Absolutely new possibilities, man. And I think that there's a new crop of artists um, who are coming out with a lot better messaging. And I think that we need to make sure that we continue supporting those artists. There's a reason why I'm always like adamant on even on this podcast about mentioning La Russell or some of
Mm-hmm.
the other artists who are being very intentional about not pushing certain stuff like that. And and are dope.
Yeah.
And another
And our
artist
dope on
who,
top of that.
when we talk about Chance the Rapper not getting the attention that he deserves because he's independent, I think Lil Russell is the same way. Like Lil Russell is clearly moving
Mm,
around. More a lot of people know who he is, but he's not getting some of the looks just because he's independent.
mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like he had a tiny desk like not too long ago. So like he's clearly a known name and face. So it's all like I don't know what it is, man. It's something about being independent, having to do it on your own or with a limited team that just obviously makes it more challenging. But like we need to do better as consumers and supporting them, bro, regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
absolutely. And what it
yeah,
is a lot, and that's a whole nother discussion. But these streaming platforms and labels are playing a lot of games, and they're in bed together. So it's
yeah.
like which is already a conflict of interest. But so when you think about the fact that Universal Music Group has some ownership in Spotify, it's a direct conflict of interest. You know what I mean? It's like
Clearly, yeah,
you're controlling the music, but you're also controlling what music is getting playlisted and what music is
yeah.
being heard at what levels. And so it's messy on the business end. But if enough people support it, man, you can't ignore it. So
Yeah, exactly. You can't
the people
ignore it, bro,
still the
because
people still move the needle. So
I was about to say I was talking to somebody, bro, like within hip hop, and that's the sentiment. It's like we're ultimately going to be the change makers, bro. It's the people, it's the consumers, that's what drives music certain ways. So we got to do a better job and actually recognize our own power, through it all. So
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely, man. So when y'all see a dope artist, show love to him, man. And even when you see an artist who you might not typically like, who does something that you're like, I like this, you know what I mean? Share and show love because they'll start making more music that's in that direction.
exactly, exactly.
I'm gonna give you an example, and you're gonna be shocked by this one.
Mm.
Ice Spice.
Yeah, that is a good example,
Hold on,
actually.
but I'm gonna say Ice Spice did a rap radar freestyle. Y'all, I'm putting the show Ice
I'm not
Spice some
watching
love.
that, right?
Look, listen to me. Listen to me.
Mm.
Listen to it. She did a rap radar freestyle, and she's actually talking about something.
Whoa.
She's talking about pain and the stuff she's going through, and like it shocked me when I saw it. I was like, "Yo," and like this is different. So I think that when artists who don't typically talk about nothing talk
Mm-hmm.
about something, we got to show it the same love. You know what I mean? And I think that you'll see the art start shifting with the people. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I love to see it, man. Let's see more of it, man.
let's see more of it, man, and no more Drakes, man. If y'all haven't seen that video, y'all check it out on our
You
YouTube
definitely
channel.
need to check it out, bro. And always like, subscribe, share, and support this podcast, man. Rap and Reason. We got some great commentary, some great reviews, some great insight, man, when it comes to this hip hop game and industry. We have a hip hop scholar, bro, doing it. We have a music journalist doing it, bro. Like, what better combination can you really ask for while still making it entertaining, man? Make sure you support rap. Wow. I fumbled that. Rapping
You had
reason.
it going though. You had it going, bro. I
I was cooking.
was cooking.
Yeah.
Support Rapping Reason, man. Make sure y'all are locked in with us. And
Yeah.
if you listen on Apple Music or Spotify, make sure y'all are giving us a review, man. It goes a long
Yeah.
way. If you're on YouTube, man, engage with us. You know what I mean? We'll respond back. Make sure you're commenting. Make sure you're
Yeah.
liking all of those things, man. And make sure that you're subscribed first and foremost, man. And we'll keep on giving you all content weekly. And stay locked in with us, man. Rapping Reason podcast. We out here.
We out here, man. Until next time, brother man.
Till next time. Peace.